Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How we doing? It is officially hump day. I'm getting this weird message from YouTube saying the chat is just not connected, unable to connect the chat. Huh. That's a cap. It looks like a cap. Anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this started. If I can find the window I'm looking for. I have sort of a long quote of the day. So this quote comes from Sadhguru. He was asked a question about freedom, just to kind of set the stage. So quote of the day is: the body is a limitation, the mind is a limitation, emotions are limitations, but they are also possibilities. Look at what binds you now and see how to transcend this. This is growth. All right, so that is the quote of the day. I'm just gonna let that one rest on your spirit right there. Let that one marinate. All right. Moving on over to the pre-market insight. All right, so today we have new home sales at 10, crude oil inventories at 10:30. Tomorrow we have the core durable goods and the GDP, initial jobless claims, pending home sales, and Friday we have the U.S. federal budget. All right, so that is our economic outlook for the rest of the week. Go ahead and check out that power range, and I don't want to do it like that. All right, so for NQ Futures Sessions power range today, we had a high of 13,189 and a quarter, with a low of 13,133 and 3/4. At the time of this posting, we were trading neutral. We are still trading neutral, like in a wide range. At up 0.26% with a volume of 150K and an ATR at 265.06. So let's go ahead and look at the chart. So on the 15-minute, see we've been pretty much just been bouncing around in this range, kind of slightly opening the range up. It's slightly bullish. If we look at this, I can't switch over to the regular chart. It's going to put some trend lines in a random location, even though that's not necessarily the tool that I was looking for. Close enough, just to see the trend. I'm not worried about support, resistance, and anything right there. That's just to kind of show that we have a slightly bullish trend. Made a higher high up here, trying to work on a higher low. So we'll let that play out and see how things turn out as we go into the open. So in terms, like in relation to, or to compare it to the other price action that we've had this week, I prefer days like yesterday, where we already have a strong trend in either direction, versus days like this where we're kind of all over the place. It just simplifies it when you already know what the main trend is. Looking for your entries and determining which way you're going to trade, but this could go either way. We have a range, but it could do anything. So we'll just see what the market gives us, and I already have my plan for either direction, which is really honestly just to trade with the trend and get in on pullbacks. I'm gonna go ahead and stick to, let's see. Make sure everything is still good. My PC just randomly put all my windows on the main laptop screen, my monitor, overnight for some unknown reason. So gotta make sure everything is still in place, or had to reposition a lot of stuff. That's what I was supposed to do. Let me get my pre-market screenshot first, and then I'll switch over monitors. For some reason, I can't see the chat didn't connect on my end, so let me use my MacBook to connect the laptop. To connect to YouTube. What am I saying? Okay, there it is. Cool. Only if I pop it out. And good morning, Dean. My PC being weird today. need to bring my other headphones in here so I can really monitor the audio that's going through. Let me know if y'all can hear the music in the background. All right, got less than 2 minutes. It's about 4 minutes for me before I can take a trade. Know what I'm missing? Need to see that. See? Got stuff on the wrong screen. I hate when it does that because I had everything positioned perfectly. Now I gotta figure out why, reposition everything, figure out why I had it. Levels I'm looking at this morning is what's that? 29.5 ish. 29. You see 102 and 174. Yep, this is a new one. I ain't even see once I put it over. Once I do everything on Logic Pro. So once I took it off Logic Pro, I didn't, go back and listen to it to make sure everything sounded okay. So hopefully it didn't mess up the bounce. A lot of volatility out the gate. So if I'm not mistaken, for NQ, this 44 is the bottom of that range from overnight. Actually, we traded down to 32. Yeah, that's right. Just making sure I have I'm recognizing the big picture. So that's some pretty significant support around 40. Appreciate you. Let me see. I'll put my first order around here, the PR50.
Order submitted.
I'm not a fan of breakouts this morning. It's like we could be shaping up for a possible takeout. Even an attempt to break out lower. In hindsight, looking at the capital, looking at the volume plus my key locations, I could have taken it was at my first 3 minutes, so I couldn't have taken it anyway. But we can see why the price turned around 113, and now we're attempting to break lower. Get that? Is that lower today again? Keeping an eye on the low of the day around 28. For this move, I would have wanted to get in around 113. Traded right through the low of the day. We are seeing a little bit of pushback. I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on with my iPad. Thought Mercury retrograde was over. Stuff is my device is still acting up. So that's why I didn't want to take a breakout. Doesn't mean we can't continue to trade lower, but I saw that support sitting down there. I saw the possibility of a buyer sitting down there. A little bit of short covering. Still see a lot of selling going on. We're just in this battle zone. Gonna hold what I got. Bears right now holding the line at the POC. If I wanted to be aggressive, I could go in at 89 or 90-ish. Somewhere in this range between 90 and 100. That's not a call out, by the way. None of these are call outs. This is not a call out channel. MV3 Trader is all about making your own decisions and trading from within. And reference today's quote of the day. Actually, the link where I got that quote from is in the description, I believe. It's powerful stuff. So pretty sluggish morning. Not a whole lot going on. I want to see how we come out of this battle zone. I got a little bullish momentum. It's not looking promising for them though. Trying to push through that POC. They might be taking over here. So this is just the way I explain it that way, just to kind of put a story behind what I'm seeing. But what happens here is this little area down here, we were accumulating shares, or accumulating pretty much buy orders. And as we get this bullish momentum in here, we're selling off those buy orders. So it's the business of trading. the back office stuff. This sounds better when you say it. This is the battle zone. You got the Bulls versus the Bears and all that stuff. Paints the picture better. But it is helpful to understand the back office stuff. As a market maker would say, the business side of trading. A particular market maker by the name of JJ. Shout out to Confessions of a Market Maker. Former market maker. Used to do it years ago. So I'm going to be watching, still not changing my order, but I am watching at 125 level, where we have, the volume pretty much drops off. Taking a little break before we attempt to push higher. It's a nice bullish pair. Let's see if we hold that. We're just gonna stay in this battle zone. So in hindsight, of course, hindsight capital says I could have took that aggressive play that I was looking at earlier. Not in the mood to trade in battle zones this morning, though. It's not my favorite thing to do. Let's change up the tunes. Oops. still one of my favorite beats. And all the ones that I made. Still remember, I made this one while I was in the Philippines. And we're just hanging around this range from nice little tight range, slightly bearish. See what this does. Gives me some time to play with my I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. That's a weird drawing tool. Why I can't make it wider. ES is even almost at a flat line. What is gold doing this morning? And gold is choppy as well. Like everything is just pretty much. The market is waiting for something. There's a lot of accumulation going on across the board. Let's see, why is this over here? It's almost 10 o'clock. Well, depending on how the next about 10 minutes go, it may be a no trade day for me. Those have been coming frequently lately. Well, so far this year. Before, when I would mostly have trade days, it was because I was working on myself, on my psychology. But now it's more so of a thing. I'm not getting the setups that I want. So instead of trying to force a trade, I just rather, preserve my capital and just trade another day. Eventually, I get my setup. You don't have to be. Patience really pays off. Patience and consistency. If you recognize a pattern, there is a chance. There's a good chance that pattern will present itself again. And then, so all you have to do is be patient and just wait for that pattern. Wait for your setup, and then just play it as you planned. You don't have to trade every single day. was looking at the aggressive play earlier on the pullback between 90 and 100. We've touched that area a few times, so I wouldn't. My thing is, if it's we've touched the same area 3 times, that I don't want to take it on the fourth, pretty much. Like I have to have really good conviction to take it on the fourth attempt. Still trying to push lower. This one could actually go somewhere. Again, everything that I say is not advice to do anything with your trading account. You make your own decisions. I'm only expressing my opinion, and keep in mind that a lot of times I am wrong. I need silver to make one more push though. I got an options play in SLV. If we can get another pop like we had on February 1st, that would be awesome. Alright, so this one may be able to go. Trying to break lower. Support is holding up. So if it's gonna go, it should be a momentum play, and it should happen soon. With that last 3-minute candle that we got. But I'm seeing still seeing a lot of pushback. But if it's similar to yesterday, it could just be gearing up. All right. Let's see if we can carry some momentum through this sell-off.
Order submitted.
Looking for a retest. the bears, looking at the big picture, the bears do have a little bit of, to fight through. It's based on structure. Oops. Just looking on my Sierra charts because I can move them around a little bit more smoothly.
Order submitted.
That's close enough. I think I'm gonna have a nice little hindsight capital write up on this one. I personally wouldn't do anything different, but I do see things that, you know, could have been done. And technical tip of the day, um, looking at market depth information is definitely, is worth studying. I would recommend like TPO, um, maybe like footprint charts, looking at the delta. There's just different ways of looking at order flow and volume. I would highly recommend looking at those if you're in your studies, to study that stuff and see if it makes sense to you. Let's see. I think I'm gonna give it about one more candle because it's still looking bearish, but we don't have a lot of momentum. Like, we are going lower, but it's kind of weak. volume is not, still kind of light. And that's probably, carrying a little bit of the frequency from yesterday, personally. But it does, yeah, it looks weak. So. It bounced right off that key level right there at 959. And that level is based off of volume. So I'm close enough to my no trade window to not enter into a new
Order
position.
canceled.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just officially proclaim this a no trade day for me. If only every day could be like yesterday, that would be awesome. Let me see if we break this low at 955. 950, what's that? 957, almost 958. got an idea for something I'm working on. Let's see. All right, so just from the hindsight capital of the game, I had an order sitting right here, pretty much at 30. So I'm just gonna see how price reacts to that level. I am officially in my no trade window, so I can't take it even if I wanted to. And then I forgot about Sierra charts again. I'm supposed to be going back to trading in my regular account also, but the problem is I forget that I'm trading in Sierra at the same time. So that was part of the test to see how it would do with testing in two different or trading with two different platforms. One of the problems is I forget about trading with Sierra. So that order was placed in Sierra paper mode, if you were curious about that noise. Alright, sim mode. Good way to remind myself that Sierra chart still exists on my computer. And remember to trade there, and I can put some action behind what I'm looking at. As a matter of fact, we might as well go ahead and switch on over to there. I'm glad I didn't take any trades this morning. I just don't like this kind of price action. We just hang around at one level for the longest. Like, this is the kind of price action that frustrates me the most. But there are a lot of opportunities in here, so when I do my hindsight capital write up later, I'm just going to point those out and put them in the journal. Just to, a way for me to have something to reference later if I want to go back, and every once in a while I go back and look at some of the stuff that I journaled, just to see what frequency I was holding at that time and see if anything has changed when I go back and reference it, or if it's something that I need to go back and remember. It's like a pro athlete watching game tape. I'll go back and watch. I look at my journal, look at what I've posted there before. Sometimes I watch my old trades. As I'm watching, asking myself, what was I thinking about when I took that bad trade? So sellers definitely didn't have enough strength to take it lower right there. And if I would have took this in Leeloo, I would have been, of course, I wouldn't have my stop this tight. There's nothing wrong with having a tight stop loss, as long as it's not random. Your strategy may vary. So staying true to my rule in that instance right there saved me from being in a frustrating trade, because this definitely would be, if I took that trade down there in a live account or with Leeloo, then I would definitely be feeling some frustration right now because of the price action, and I just don't like the way it's shaping up, even though there's opportunities to still play it correctly to where I just, with the price action, I don't see, it feels like it would be more frustrating to be in the trade than to just be watching it from the sideline right now. With this price action, I think I would at least be able to take some small profit from it, but like I say, it would just come with way too much frustration, and I would just rather stick to my rules, because rules matter. And I have too many things to do today, and to be stuck in trades that frustrate me. So with all of that being said, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hope you are having success in your trading day and with the rest of your week. And I will see you guys on the next one. Trade it easy.